All right, what's going on, guys? Today we've got an absolute banger of a game that just dropped its demo this February, and I'm glad to say they're actually sponsoring this video. It's called Mecha Break. Now, what is Mecha Break? Basically, it's a super intense mech game featuring customizable mechs, each with their own unique class and a ton of weapons and awesome gameplay. You can also customize your pilot with tons of options to choose from. I've been playing for a couple days straight, and trust me, it's honestly the most fun I've ever had. I also played the previous beta as well and sunk a ton of hours into that as well. It's definitely a game I genuinely enjoy, and it's super cool that they're sponsoring today's video. So let's jump into it. So the game starts off obviously with the character customization, which is huge, where you can choose from obviously various factions that will provide a baseline for your character. One of them, straight up gave me Evangelion vibes. The customization is insanely detailed. You can pretty much change everything from height to mouth shape, hand size, and that. You could easily, honestly, spend all day here. Once you're done making your perfect pilot, you're thrown into the tutorial. The controls are super straightforward, and the tutorial honestly does a great job of explaining everything, unlike those games that basically teach you anything and leave you guessing. For this bit, you're trying to escape your ship. I won't go into too much detail because honestly you guys got to check it out. By the end of this segment, you'll be launching down to Earth and fighting a bunch of enemies. It's honestly quite easy. Towards the end of the tutorial, you'll face your first, I guess, big boss. They aren't too tough, giving you a chance, obviously, at getting your muscle memory down before you face something actually dangerous. And I mean, check this dude out. He is absolutely massive. Laser beams flying everywhere. It's nuts. A couple of your ally mechs are there to help you with the fight. Be sure to use your shield, obviously, for the lasers, but honestly, you can get away with not even using it at all and just non-stop shooting. After that, head over to Mashack, an area where enemies are mining a resource called Corite, and your job is to stop them. It's basically a PVE mission with a decent number of enemies. While it's still part of the tutorial, if you aren't careful, they might actually kill you. It is super straightforward though. You take out this Corite mining machine and another one drops in. These Corite miners actually cause pulse storms, which can really mess with you. So you got to be careful of those. There's actually a couple of stronger enemies and dropships in this tutorial version of Mashack, but the full version is absolutely insane, which we will get to in a minute. After you've done with Mashack, you'll head over to your hangar where you can honestly test out different mechs and find what suits you best. You can train with all the available mechs, and let me tell you, some of them are insane. You've got everything from the support type mechs like Lumini, who specialize in healing, sniper mechs, one of my favorite, Narakami, which can go invisible, drops decoys, and really can mess you up from a distance. Now, Tricera, who is an absolute beast. Bro can turn into a fortified stationary turret and just bullet storms the targets. And you've even got mechs like Falcon that can transform into freaking jets. Yeah, which is insane. I love it. Of what I could afford, I personally like the base mech at first, but there are some next level options, and a few of them have their own finishes too. Now, Welkin is one of my favorites. Bro just absolutely obliterates. Like, look at this dude go. He just spins up and you can just drop people in a finisher. Now that you've chosen your mech, the game throws you in obviously the 6v6 online mode. You are required to play 2 matches before you get access to the full game though. It's sort of just like a test to get you into the game slowly. The 2 game modes I started with obviously were Capture the Flag, which was a good one. I was beaming around the map, and the Corite extraction, a mix of PvP and honestly a little bit of PvE enemies. This one is super fun. I was chasing around this Narakami for a bit because they kept trying to take me out. It can be super hard to lock down, obviously, because Narakami likes to sit at the edge of the map. After these matches, you should have enough Matrix credits to buy a new mech or customize your current one, or both. Now, the customization is insane. You can modify your mechs with mods that boost certain stats. And trust me, there's so many stats to mod, from energy charge time, mobility mods, weapon reload, how long it takes you to recover from a stagger, from falling. Just be careful, mods have negatives too. So some things won't actually stack together nicely, but for a real build, crafting is going to go wacky. You can also unlock custom paint jobs. I grabbed a few in the Mashack mode. Weapon skins, which are earnable through in-game events and multiplayer rewards like the special Mashack only currency merit points. There's a few pilot outfits to choose from. Also, all these options let you change the colors, and there's tons to pick. The colors are purchasable with free in-game currency, but don't worry about wasting it because you can build a whole new look and preview things before you lock in the purchase. Now, once the game fully opens up, you can play however you want. There are a few features locked behind level walls, but there's still plenty to do. Operation Verge features classic game modes like Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, Escort, Search and Destroy, and Launch Site Domination. One of my favorite maps is Cape Blanc, where you dismantle the Corite extractors while constantly on the move. The map's huge, there's room for sniping, or obviously straight up brawling while teammates compete for the objectives. Not gonna lie though, landing a finisher in a live game is super hard because everyone's trying to get them too. Mashack is a extraction-based mode where you're dropped into a massive, and I mean huge map. Look at it. At one point, we were over 8 kilometers from an extraction point. Now, you can Mashack solo or in co-op. I played some co-op and man, is it fun. The initial landing is random. We dropped into this harbor type area for the first game, and there was just enemies everywhere. Some bosses, dropships, cannons that come out of the ground, and tons of loot. We roamed around this initial area for a bit, dropping the mobs and bosses before realizing how big the map actually was. Also had a chuckle about our mechs being too heavy for bridges. Make sure you fly over those. Later on in the match, we finally found some other players to fight. We were in this massive Corite mine, or I guess storage facility. We just locked them down, and honestly, we kind of slaughtered them. Tricera is so goated and OP. Once he is locked down, you really need to sort this guy out. And honestly, Welkin is so good for just trapping people in the box that he has. Well, you just batter them with your axe. And there's tons of loot in Mashack. This is where you'll be getting, obviously, all your weapon and mod upgrades. Primarily for sure. You need to get to an extraction zone, obviously, to save the loot. But don't worry, if you don't want to extract and leave the game, you can actually call in a dropship to take back 3 of your most valuable items. So make sure if you get something rare, like a yellow tier piece of loot, you send it back in this dropship, and you can send your high value stuff back to base. The extraction zones are limited, so if you miss it, you'll have to get another. It's not too big of a deal, and honestly, the extraction zone fights are the best ones because people are trying to get their best loot out. Honestly, the strat might be hunting other players and mechs at extraction zones for big loot gains. I can see Mashack becoming an absolute top game mode when this comes out. But yeah, Mecha Break is legitimately so fun. You can see how many hours I had on this game, and I cannot wait for its full release. So seriously, guys, go and try it. If you like mechs, if you like PvP combat, customization, it's the game for you. But yeah, Mecha Break launches in spring 2025, so there's not long to go. But that's all for this one. Once again, thank you to Mecha Break for sponsoring the video. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want to check it out, use my link in the video description. And be sure as well to go and wishlist Mecha Break, because yeah, definitely one of the top games coming out this year.